And Run Into Pain from the highly anticipated album So Help Me God, which is going to be out on the 12th of June. Very dirty hit. We crowned Kelsey Lou Breaking Artist on the show back in March with that track, and we're very excited to bring Kelsey Lou live in session on the show next Tuesday. But this Tuesday, the one that we're on right now, we're in the present moment and we're with Knats. Hello everybody, how are we?
How are you doing? You alright?
Good.
Great now that you're here.
Yeah.
I feel so far apart. I'm going to try.
I know there's a lot of you in the studio. Would you like to go around and introduce yourselves, please?
Yeah, sure. My name's Stan and I play the bass.
Yeah.
My name is King and I play the drums.
I'm Sandro and I play keys.
Hello, I'm Cooper and I'm the poet.
My name is Ferg, play the trumpet.
My name's George, I play the saxophone.
Thank you, guys. I love the fact that we have a licensed poet in the studio as well. I'm the poet. Yes.
He is.
We love that. Where to even start with you guys? One interesting thing, we were listening to an interview with you that you did on a podcast, and I thought it was interesting how you're trying to maybe distance yourself from the word jazz. I feel like jazz has become this all-encompassing term, and maybe it's a little bit reductive sometimes with the band that has such a broad sound.
That's nice to hear that you say the word reductive, because I feel like there's a constant thing in like press where people are obsessed with genres and whatever, but it's like, I think we are trying to separate from that a little bit, because what's kind of become this thing of UK jazz is kind of so far removed from what actually jazz is, you know, which is like great that the UK has got this thing going on, but can be like kind of hurtful to the music, I guess. And another point on that is also just like what we consider UK jazz is like very specific to like the London sound, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to make that distinction.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what is the Newcastle sound?
I don't know. I think like we're very informed by our background in rock, really. You know, it's like I grew up on a lot of rock, and I think Newcastle has a big history of rock, really, you know. So yeah, I think that's a big part of it. There's not a load that's going on in the jazz scene. But yeah, I think that's a big thing for us, isn't it?
Yeah, and just a culmination of our introduction to music. You know, Stan and I started playing like Arctic Monkeys is like our first ever iteration of the band many years ago, and then cycled through like a bunch of different genres, but mainly rock music, you know, rock, metal and stuff like that. So I think that kind of energy does bleed into the music in a very healthy way, without separating ourselves from that jazz thing, but also bringing something which sounds a bit different.
I guess that's a good place to start as well, as to where you all met.
Aye.
As in, you know, Stan and King, are you sort of, I guess, founders of Knats?
Yeah, me and King are the founders. We met when we were like 10 years old in school, in like year 7, and we both grew up in the West End of Newcastle. He lived kind of like, we both kind of, for anybody who knows where Newcastle is, the West Road in Newcastle. He was on one side and I was on the other. Cross tracks, crazy. Star-crossed lovers.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Kind of vibe.
And here we are. So yeah, we met like a long time ago, and we've known each other. We've always been playing music, like King was saying. We kind of formed this band towards the end of like lockdown with the name, and we met Ferg, who's the trumpet player here. So myself, King, and Ferg is kind of like the core of the band. Yeah. Been going since the start, really. So yeah. And then we met these amazing dudes along when we moved to London, like about 4 years ago, something like that. Met Sandro, who's keys, George an extraordinaire, and George and Cooper I just know from kind of being around. I always see him at gigs like dancing with his long hair, long ginger hair. He's got a very striking appearance.
And I was a groupie to begin with.
That's it.
It's every groupie's dream.
Exactly. And I and them just had this idea to kind of tell the stories more vividly. So I've always had, like, with this album, it's always been like all the songs had themes and stuff. I wanted to talk about stuff specifically, but we hadn't worked with words, so I wanted a way of kind of telling the stories more clearly for people to kind of receive, you know. So that was Cooper, and now he's just kept him around. He's awesome, you know.
It's good to have good to have a groupie around for support, especially if they're talented.
Most definitely, yeah.
That's always a bonus too. We'll talk about the album, I think, in a bit more detail a little bit later, but like still curious about your origin stories, especially because the sound is so unique, you know, several talented musicians coming together, making this sort of improvisational sound. What was the commonality that you all had with each other? Like, what's the sort of shared vision that you wanted Knats to be?
Well, I mean, we just wanted to start a band, to be honest. It was, I think when we first started, it was like, because there was so much of like there were lack of musicians in Newcastle. It was like we were less focused on what we wanted to do, but it's just finding people to do it was like the main challenge, which is crazy. But I think that's also kind of what helped the sound get to where it is now. We didn't kind of put a label on it and be like, oh, we're going to start a jazz band, we're going to start this. We just were into jazz music at the time and started playing music together, and then it's just kind of become what it is now.
Yeah,
Wicked.
definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then, is it true that, Ferg, you were in doing your GCSEs or something when you got asked to come aboard the Knats train?
It was terrifying. I got this message off these guys on Instagram, these older guys, I was like 14, 15. They said, let's go have a play. I kind of turned it down originally because I was kind of nervous. It's like, I got to finish my GCSEs, man. But yeah, then my parents were like, what are you doing, man? Just go and do it.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad gave me a lift to the studio and we had a little sesh.
That's amazing.
He was a shy, sweet kid, and now he's become an older, annoying.
He's jaded.
Wise.
No, I'm kidding.
Turns out you didn't need your GCSEs after all.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Don't tell my mum.
Still open.
But that was another thing I've heard you talking about before, is that like you from the beginning you've had a lot of faith in what you're doing, and that if you work hard and like have this vision that you proceed with, that it will work out and be successful.
I think me and King have always been very kind of headstrong about it, and I think both come from very like strong female role models, single mom households.
Yeah.
Always, my mum was like, "You can do whatever you want." It's always like there was no doubt. So I think as we were growing up, we were kind of like naively we're just like, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna make it. You know what I mean? There's never been a doubt in my mind that me and King was like, we're just gonna do it. We'll try. We'll get into London. We'll start a band. Like blah blah blah. It's like I think it very much comes from like that sort of thing. Do you think?
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Yeah, the resilience is like unmatched from like a single mother. They have to balance two things at once. Have to be the father and the mother at the same time, and that teaches you like unimaginable kind of like qualities.
Yeah,
I love that.
Amazing.
Absolutely love that. Well, shall we get into the first part of this live session with Knats?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
cascade from skin, sinews, punches, pistons, the furnace hungers. Its palate honed to men enlisted for wrist strength and persistence. Wor Jackie. Men bellows weep when fire burns cold. Grafters enrolled upon coal flats. Good men, each worthy of blue plaques, wield a blunted pickaxe and pole packs. Some live by steel and some steal a living. Diligent gentlemen divin'. What is the grafter's prize, Wor Jackie? What is his prize, Wor Jackie? More baccy in his pouch, more stripes on his trackies. Look at me, Wor Jackie, look at me. Asbestos in his lungs, lead buried in his fingertips. Tooth and nail, indentations on the surface of his skin. Read messages of betrayal in braille, Wor Jackie. Steel arches to mock his spinal abnormality. No break from the back-breaking labour. He makes ships, but he is drowning. I make ships, but I am drowning. I am drowning, Wor Jackie. I am drowning, Wor Jackie.
Set the scene, Sandro. I like to tell stories with these songs, as I explained in the interview. And Sandro Shaw here on the keys helps me to set the scene sometimes, you know, get the atmosphere going. Picture this. There's a young kid, a nice lad, good head on his shoulders. Couldn't hurt a fly if he wanted to. He's a creative, you know, he likes to paint, he likes to dance, goes out with his pals, rides his bike, you know, nice kid things. One day, his dad comes into his room, drags him out of his room, makes him fight, puts him in a boxing gym. He's like, Dad, no, Dad, no, Dad, I don't want to fight. He's not a fighter. And he says that to his dad. He says, Dad, I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. And I'm never gonna be a boxer.
I ain't never gonna be a boxer.
Unbelievable.
Such talent in this room.
Thank you very much.
And that's live in session. We're going to be back with you in about 10 minutes' time. Show Me the Body and No God from the hardcore group's new album Alone Together, which is going to be out on the 10th of July. And tonight's session guest Knats were very much enjoying a bit of Show Me the Body.
Yeah, they were class, yeah.
Is that
Heavy.
Heavy, yeah?
Butters on support, please. No, they were actually sick though, to be fair. It was class.
What I'd love to talk about now, you know, we touched briefly upon the album, but A Great Day in Newcastle came out on the 1st of this month.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get in.
It's fantastic. It's you describe it as a musical documentation of the North East working class experience.
Yeah.
I'd just love to know a bit more about that and how you guys go around writing tracks based on that. Obviously, with the help of Cooper's wonderful words. What's sort of the process of...
Well, the process largely on this project was kind of me just by myself. I did a lot of the writing for this one. We're changing it a little bit now, but it was like a big project that I kind of undertook. I just like locked myself away at like a piano every day for like 6 or 7 hours, so really just grafting. And I think within that time it kind of worked itself out. It was like an obvious kind of conceptual... It was an obvious concept for me to kind of undertake because it was like very personal.
Yeah.
Like my life up to now has been like that experience and those experiences. So when I was writing all this like new music, that was the first thing that kind of came to mind. And I think I wanted to do like a kind of playful but serious take on these topics and kind of explore our hometown, you know, without seeming too like self-pitiful. I think was a big thing, you know, because we talk about a lot of serious, Cooper talks about a lot of serious kind of topics, but I wanted it to seem like tongue-in-cheek enough to be kind of appreciated and not be like, oh, that's so hard, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? So it kind of always birthed out of that intro we have called 7 Bridges to Burn. 7 Bridges in Newcastle, for those who didn't know. And I'd kind of heard Cooper's poetry. And I was like, I'd written all these instrumental tracks, all the tracks on the record. And I was like, the idea was I had all these themes, but no words. And I was like, if we had an intro track which detailed all these themes, then after that, the instrumentals would kind of make sense. Yeah. So we got Cooper down, he did this incredible poem. And we were like, why don't we try that on that track, Wor Jackie? We've got that tune. It's like, you know, doesn't have any words, maybe it'd be cool. And then he came in the next day and he did that one. We were like, all right, cool, that works. It's like, maybe we'll just have him on like the rest of the record. And he ended up just like being with us for the whole week. He was kipping on me floor as he will be tonight. But I changed the sheets for him, so he's absolutely brilliant. So he just ended up with us for the whole week, and he was like, in the mornings he would write stuff, and I'd be like, Cooper, can you come in about 5-6 p.m? We'll be sat there with Geordie, kind of drinking and that, and we just send Cooper in, and Geordie be on the mic like, Cooper, trying to keep right, you know, it's like, and it just turned out to be this like, you know, beast basically with Cooper. So
wicked. I mean, that was a good impression there. I think we know who we're going to talk about next. Is it true that you reached out to Geordie Greep?
No. It was weirdly enough, it happened when we were recording our first album. I was a massive fan of Black Midi and have been, still am.
Yeah.
And I found his like personal Instagram account. It's kind of embarrassing. And I sent him like a follow request.
That's it. Yeah, you followed him on Instagram.
Yeah. And then he just sent me a message being like, "Hey man, let's have a play." Because the band had just finished at the time, and he was just looking for new people to play with. And then got Stan in, we started playing together, and then from then on, there was a friendship that blossomed into creating records together.
Yeah. This was like 2 years ago, really.
Very, very
we actually did this exact live session with Geordie when the new sound came out.
Yeah.
Me, King and Geordie in this same room about 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. Just trio. Yeah, it was crazy.
And now he's just like one of our best mates.
Yeah,
I went for lunch with him today. Went to a Portuguese place. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Lovely.
Did you suspect when you followed his private account on Instagram, is this the vision that you had that, like, you know, once he hears us, he's going to want to work with us and be our friend?
Not at all, man. I thought it was just going to be like, I was just going to sit in the requests forever, basically. You know, but it's just crazy, like going from that and like literally the day that happened, like we just finished a tune. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, Geordie's just texted me. I was like telling everyone, oh my God, I'm like losing my mind. Like, he's like literally like I don't know, one of my favorite musicians of all time. You know, but it's just that thing of like, you know, one small thing can lead to lead to a massive thing. You know, snowball effect.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Wise words.
I know that you guys spent some time in Trinity in London.
Yeah.
Did that kind of affirm your position that like there's stuff from where we're from that needs to be said that like, you know, the UK isn't hearing? Like, did it kind of encourage you that you had something different to share?
I would say so. I think when you move away, you always feel more nostalgic about your hometown, which I think was a big impact on the record, you know. Not to say I wouldn't have written if I'd stayed in Newcastle, but when you're away, you really look at it and it's like, wow, like this is, and you're in London, it's like, you know, Newcastle's obviously better than London. So it's like, it is very like, you know.
Yeah.
And also just kind of, a lot of the people around us are obviously kind of from quite different backgrounds to us, which makes you reflect on your own background a little bit more, and it makes you want to talk about it. And a lot of people in, you know, music from quite wealthy middle class backgrounds who have access to, you know, teaching and stuff like that. And it's actually a very small minority of people who come from working class backgrounds. Unfortunately, nowadays, if you look at like, you know, Sabbath in the 70s and stuff, they were all, you know, working class lads. Half of Led Zeppelin, same vibe, but you know, it's kind of shifting a little bit now. And I think that was I was on my mind a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. You said it all. Yeah, you feel like not like, I guess, for lack of a better term, an outsider when you move down to London. It makes you, like Stan said, appreciate home a bit more. And then have to, like, you know, you try to retain your identity for, like, as much as you can, you know, because you don't want to lose that thing that you have.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, shall we get into the second part of the session?
Well,
Let's go.
Nats
Nats.
live in session.
Ready, guys?
I was born ready, mate.
Let's flipping rock.
Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me tell you another story. The story of the convict who got sent down. He made some mistakes, but he had a hard life. Gets out and vows never to return again. Sets up a successful business and rejoins society. But he feels like he's never accepted the same. This is the story of the carpet doctor.
Staged on old faces, mutter as I wander by. Am I the caterpillar? Am I the butterfly? Nowhere my bread is buttered, nowhere I'm off for dinner. Am I the butterfly? Am I the caterpillar? I woke up in the gutter, is that where I'll die? Am I the caterpillar? Am I the butterfly? Put down your pesticide, I killed what's left inside. I'm not the caterpillar, I am the butterfly.
Hey.
That was very fun.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. That was
Very
incredible.
fun for us too. Absolutely amazing. Nats taking the roof off the place live in session here in Salford. Gigs coming up. You got Moth Club in London in October.
Moth Club in October.
You play Love
30th.
Supreme Festival.
Love Supreme. We out here. A few big festivals. I don't know if we're allowed to say.
Head online.
I don't want our manager to get upset. but
Some
the
other
main
very
thing is.
exciting news coming soon as well.
Thank you
definitely.
so much. It was a pleasure.
It's a
Thank you.
joy,
That was
honestly.
Before we
unreal.
go, do you mind if I mention a quick thing?
Please.
Yeah. Everyone, keep buying the album. Let's keep buying it. Keep buying the album.
Absolutely.
Great day in Newcastle.
Yeah,
do it.
exactly. And hopefully catch you live at some festivals as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully see you there. Thank you very much.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Nat.
Let's go.